State of the Vatican.
Tomorrow, Parliament is set to receive the UPDF Amendment Bill of 2025 for the third reading in a bid to pass it into law. This comes on the back of meetings in which the Legal Committee has been scrutinizing the bill since last week. Among those presenting their views on the matter were the officials from the Defense Ministry, Attorney General, Director of Public Prosecutions, and some lawyers. Despite this, some, like the Uganda Law Society, political parties did not show up due to the short notice given to them to turn up and present on the 76-clause bill.
To the law.
Yesterday, the Leader of Opposition in Parliament, Joel Sanyoni, questioned the fast pace in which the bill was being handled by Parliament.
But the letter is reaching their office at 8 a.m. and you want them within 1 hour to show up for this committee meeting to give their views on a 150-page bill. That's ultra-vires.
You have expressed that people did not turn up, but at least they were granted an opportunity to appear before the committee. If they did not appear, that one you cannot blame it on the committee or Parliament. What you can blame on Parliament is that if Parliament had not granted the opportunity for stakeholders to appear as guided under the rules of procedure, you would fault.
According to Parliament's procedure, a bill takes a minimum of 45 days to be passed after going through the required consultation. Some lawyers have added their voice to the speed being used by government to pass the bill.
For us, we believe the intention is really to pass the agenda of NRM, and they believe because they have the numbers, so they can do everything that they want to do in that Parliament. But we all know the reason for the 45 days was not that they need so much time, but was to ensure that they can do enough consultations. Our MPs are voted in to represent the interests of the electorates, and they can only represent them if they do consult.
The Supreme Court annulled certain provisions of the UPDF Act. It meant that it created a gap. For instance, we have the National Army, the UPDF. UPDF itself is governed by the UPDF Act. Now, if the Supreme Court has come to annul certain provisions, for example, the General Court Martial, then how is the discipline of the National Army going to be governed without the law itself?
Questions have also been raised on why government has failed to explain some of the sections of the bill, like the section of 117A, which speaks of trying civilians in court-martial on exceptional offences.
Yeah, the common man has an issue with the law itself and with the operation of the UPDF Act, in particular the General Court Martial, in that you will find most of the military men being tried in civilian courts, and you find the opposition activists or ordinary civilians are tried in the General Court Martial. So it does the reverse.
Where they will be tried, we've had that challenge for the last so many years, where we have people who have committed murder or suspected to commit murder using a gun, and they are tried in the normal courts. And then we have those who have been accused of committing murder using a gun, and they're tried in the military court martial. So it's a discretion of the executive to determine who goes where.
To them, once the bill is passed in this state, it stands to be contested in courts of law.
And then there is also a challenge because we believe Parliament is trying to legislate to defeat a judgment of court, and that Article 92 of the Constitution is very clear. Parliament shall not legislate to defeat judgment of court.
Some wonder looks at the bill as a weapon to be used against opposition members ahead of the 2026 general elections.
And therefore, Museveni does not think he can go into an election when he doesn't have his tool. And his tool is very simple. You'll be arrested, you'll be arraigned in that court, and you may never participate even in the general elections.
Members of Parliament have also shown their discontent about the UPDF Amendment Bill 2025.
I said, don't worry, we are going to avail more time. But she was telling a lie. Because over the weekend, the committee has been meeting to write a report. That means consultations from different stakeholders ended. This is unacceptable.
Raymond Tamale, NTV.
For his selfless and dedicated service.